What's up, everybody, and aloha. This is Kalei2K here, and thank you so much for joining me in for another episode of my new podcast, A Hawaiian. This is podcast episode number two. Just FYI, I am still looking at the comments from my very first episode, talking about Christmas gifts, talking about who you got, Jet Li versus Jackie Chan, and the farmer question at the end. So hopefully you guys can comment, share your personal ideas and thoughts, and I'll look at them. And if you let me share them, great. If you don't, that's okay too. But anyways, on this podcast, I know a lot of this podcast, they talk about celebrity news and whatnot. I like to look at funny news or news that's odd, things that just were just out of the blue. Sometimes I'll share Hawaii news and whatnot, but for the most part, I enjoy doing this right now. So we're just going to you just basically have an hour of just me. I don't have a guest yet. Maybe one day down the line I will, but for now, just me and you if you're viewing or if you're listening to it. Thank you guys once again. This really makes me happy that, people are listening to it at least, or even watching it when they have downtime or, doing dishes, doing laundry, because that's something I do. I like to listen to podcasts. I like to listen to music while I'm just being busy, while I'm working, while I'm listening to music, while I'm cleaning, doing chores. A lot of times when I get frustrated, that's exactly what I do. I go out and I start cleaning things. When my wife and I, we get into arguments all the time. Well, not all the time, but every time we do get into arguments, we've been trying to not bash heads as much. We've been trying to separate ourselves, and it's been working. We've been doing better. It wasn't like that, of course, when we first met, but we were able to find some sort of stance on peace, and I think that's so very, very important in a relationship. Yes, you get angry. Yes, you get frustrated. You see this person and sometimes you're just like, oh, what the hell are you still doing here? I know my wife thinks like that every once in a while about me, but I love her. I really, really do love her. And she's gorgeous. She's sexy to me. I love it when she puts her hair down and has her glasses on. Man, she's amazing. She's so, so beautiful. But anyways, there are times, that we do bash heads, we do get angry at each other, and we have to separate. So I start going and I start cleaning. I start grabbing the vacuum. I start vacuuming everything. I put my headphones in. I don't want to listen to anybody. I just want to listen to the vacuum picking up all the trash and crap off the ground and whatever podcast is going on. So if you're listening to me on your podcast and your headphones and you're cleaning right now and you're angry, hopefully this will bring you some joy and some lighter feelings. Can't stay angry forever. That's not good. That's not good for your spirit. That's not good for your heart. It's not good for your soul. But yeah, and speaking of marriage, I guess, at work, there was this new guy that, he's newer to the crew, but he was rolling with me in my truck, this past week. And, we got a chance to talk. He has a fiance. He's about to get married. He's about to go take a trip and all this other stuff. And, actually, from his experience and from another experience from a friend of ours that I kind of want to share with you guys. So from his experience, he was kind of asking me, like, hey, so, how was it when you got married? Because I asked a bunch of questions, like, when did he meet this girl? He met her during high school. They lost contact. He rekindled that flame later on. He felt like starting all over again on a clean slate. So that's what they did. And now they're engaged and they're planning to get married soon in 2022. So coming up real soon. So he kind of asked me, he's planning on buying a house. That's basically how this conversation started. He's planning on buying a house, eventually in his future with his future wife. And I told him, I said, one good thing as what I would suggest is to have an extra room, not just for a guest room, but have an extra room for when nights where you argue, you have a place to sleep. Okay, and the reason why I say that is because if you've been married, you know that you got to sleep on the couch. I've slept on the couch multiple times. I've had to bring my sleeping machine out there so I could sleep on the couch multiple times. And I don't think it'll ever stop. Yes, our conversations will change. Our conversations may get better, and our disagreements may have more justification in them later on, or they might be stupid. Like a lot of us, we argue over the dumbest things. And that's not just my relationship. That's everybody's relationship. It could be from not putting the toilet seat down to, not making rice or not turning the light off and how much it frustrates somebody. It's just, everybody has that boiling point. But I was explaining to this gentleman, I said, hey, bro, I would suggest when you buy a home, make sure there's an extra room for those nights that you get into an argument, because instead of sleeping on the couch, you will actually have a room to go to. And let it be a place where, hey, if you're going to get grounded, you're going to have to ground yourself, go into this room, close the door, let your wife have the bigger room, the better room, the room that you guys sleep in, or vice versa. If she doesn't want to be in there, you got to go in that room. You got to go into your own room, let your wife take the extra bedroom so she has a time to cool herself down, to really realize what the conversation truly is about, and give you guys self that space. When my wife and I started off, it wasn't like that. We literally lived in a studio, and it was hard. Literally sitting on the couch and looking at her in the bed, it was frustrating. It was so intense. It was frustrating. It was tough. It was hard, but we worked it out constantly. Argue again, work it out again. Argue again, work it out again. Argue again, get kicked out. I've gotten kicked out. We argued. We fixed it. I'm in the house now. And it goes back and forth all the time. I don't know what tomorrow brings. Hell, I don't know what next week brings. I don't know what 5 minutes from now brings. Rona, excuse me. But no, it's constantly growing in the relationship is so important. And I was explaining to this young man, I said, it's when you found the woman that you are attracted to, you found the woman that you love. Having that extra room is not just to escape. It's to have a place of peace and sanity so you can keep peace in your home to the very best of your abilities. We are striving to do that too within our own walls. And let me just tell you, it works. Having an extra room, I've had to sleep in the extra room a couple times, and that it's much needed. Definitely needed. And I suggest that to any new couple, anybody moving in, anybody that's, even if you have a 1-bedroom apartment and you want your boyfriend to move in with you, get a 2-bedroom apartment. Because you guys both can pay for it. You can have that room, and when he gets on your nerves and you got to kick him out, he has a room that he can go and lay down in. Okay? But don't take advantage of the room. Don't make it like, oh, I don't want to talk to you, and just cause problems and go into this room. Use it for what it's meant to be. It's meant to be a place where you guys can separate, break off from each other, give each other that time you need to vent it out, scream into a pillow, hell, punch the damn pillow, punch the damn bed, whatever it may be, to let that anger go, then come back when you guys are level-headed and talk it out. Okay? I have the information. I'm working on it too, so don't look at me as some sort of guru or whatever, because like I said, a lot of this is just my opinion. A lot of this stuff that's on my podcast is just how I feel and how I see things from my point of view. So, if you're anything like me, get a second room. Trust me, it works. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I had to get a slug of water there. But anyways, the other thing that happened not too long ago, too, was one of our friends recently got married, and we were there at the wedding. It was beautiful. It was awesome. It was amazing. It was gorgeous. Lots of food. Okay, if there's anything about Polynesians that people in the world need to know, is we have food for days. It could be from a baby shower to a graduation to a wedding ceremony. Food so long it's ridiculous. People literally take home gallon-sized Ziploc bags of food, and it's not just one. It's usually about three minimum, at least. That's what I've seen. And anyways, so our friend, she let me know. She said, "Hey, Calais, you and your wife, we love you guys, and we're thankful that we had a conversation with you guys and asked you guys, what's one thing that you guys can share with us." And I said, first off, I told her, please don't take any pages out of our book of life. We are not role models. We are not examples. We are struggling. We are trying. We love each other, but we are trying to be the best versions of ourselves for each other. We are trying to make our relationship solid as possible right now, and in the future we can get better and better. But she said, no, Khalid, just listen to what I'm saying. She said, one of the things you guys shared with us when we had that conversation was, don't care what anybody thinks about your relationship. And she said, that means so much to me because of everything that she has had to go through to be where she is, to find the man that she loves, to be happy with him, to marry this gentleman who is a great guy. I love this dude. I don't know him a lot, but just on the times that I've met him, and I've caught him up, I've caught him when he didn't know I was there, and he's been the same way. And that's how I know he's a good guy. And of course, I'm going to get to know him even more as time goes on, and our relationship, our friendships keep going. Our couples, our married couple and them being a married couple, as that relationship grows, it'll extend. It'll get better and better. But if you guys are watching, you guys know who you are. Get an extra room in your guys' new place, okay? Because you guys are planning to move out, so get an extra room in your new place. But I agree to that. I understand why we said that, okay? And this is my opinion. Like I said, this is my podcast, my opinions, okay? In my opinion, you shouldn't give a damn about what anybody else thinks about your relationship. On two things. One, the person you're with is actually trying to make you better. Now, not being abusive, not putting you down, and those comes with relationship. Of course, when you're angry at each other, you guys fume and you guys let things get out of hand, get out of control. But I'm talking about on a normal day-to-day basis. If that person is actually supporting you and trying to help you become better, see your flaws, and make you a better human being, not necessarily change who you are, make you a better human being, make you see things differently instead of your one-track mind. And the reason why I say that is because my wife did that for me. I didn't know that my life was the way it was until my wife said, no, this doesn't make sense. You're 21, 22, still having to report home and tell mommy, I'm going to do this tomorrow. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And you're not living in her house. You're living in your brother's house. And I didn't see it like that. That's how my life was before I met my wife, before we got married. It was, I got to go home. My mom wants me home. It's late already. I'm 22 years old, still saying, oh, it's late. I have a curfew. I have to be home by 9. I have to be home by 9:30. That was my life. And when I was dating my wife, she said, you're an adult. You make your own money. You literally go to work and you go home. You don't have to go home because mommy tells you to go home. You're an adult. You're 22 years old. You should be able to hang out as long as you want. You should be able to do whatever you want to do as long as you come home and you're safe when you come home. I didn't see it like that. I saw it as, I'm still my mother's child. I need to report to my mom. And that was wrong. Well, yes, it's wrong. Being an adult, you need to make an adult decision. You need to live your own life. Check in with your parents every once in a while. That's what my wife was trying to tell me. It's okay. Let her know, hey, I'm okay. I'm going to be out a little bit longer. But if she's like, oh, no, you need to be home by 9:30, it's like, no, wait a minute. I'm an adult. I make my own money. I pay for the bills. I pay for some of the bills in the house. I should be able to be out as long as I want. I will find a way home. Oh, but I don't want you coming home late. I'm an adult. And that's how it should be. And when my kids grow up and they get to that age, hell no. Nah, I'm just kidding. No, when they get to that age where they are adults and they are on their own, they're making their own money, they're doing their own thing, I get it. I will let them go. And I would tell them every time, please be safe. You call daddy. You call mommy and daddy and you let us know if something happens. Don't be afraid to call us. We will be there. Don't be afraid of the time. If something happens, you get into an accident, you call us right away. If your friend is sick and you have to go to the hospital, you call us right away. We will do everything in our power to be respectful to you, to let you grow as an adult. But at the same time, keep us in the loop so in case anything happens, we know how to react right away. So back to, sorry, I keep going off tangent, but back to that question of that statement my friend said about, not giving a damn about what anybody thinks about your relationship. And like I said, one, that person has to be someone who is helping you become a better person and seeing things differently from a different perspective, okay? The other thing I believe is that person has to make you happy. And what I mean by happy is when you are around this person, you want to be happy. When you are sad, this person is there to comfort you. When you are tired, this person is there to lay your head to rest. When you are having a bad day, that person is there for you to vent to. When you need help, that person is there to take care of you. That's what I mean by happiness. Not everything's, oh, hi. Hi, my love. How are you? Life isn't like that. If I would be so mad, to be honest, I would be so upset and frustrated if I came home every day and my wife was like, hi, look at you, so grown up. Yes, you come home after work, you look so good. Like, I would get freaking upset, like, just because that's not real. That's robotic. That's not real. My wife doesn't greet me all the time. She says, hi, babe, how are you? I was like, hi. Oh, hey, I didn't know you were home. She's not quirky and like, oh, time to put on a show, time to be a clown, time to make daddy happy, time to make my love happy, my husband. But she does do the small things that I care for. She does check on me. She does say, hey, how are you? She does share her day with me. And when I'm around her, I'm happy. When I'm around her, I feel like just chatting with her. I feel like sometimes I just watch her. Now, it might freak her out, of course, but sometimes I just watch her and I thank God for her every day. I thank God that I get to be around this beautiful woman. I thank God that she is such a great mother and a great wife, a great love to me, that I'm grateful every day that God has blessed me to be around this woman, to just love her. And I still mess up. I do. Some days when she gets on my nerves and I get on hers and we fight, I hate her. I'm not going to lie. Some days I hate her a lot. But those are the off days. Our on days, we can go for months loving each other. We can go for months without having an argument. But when those arguments come and they're intense, I hate her. And I'm not going to lie, she probably hates the hell out of me too. Okay, I'm not going to speak for her, but that's what I think. Because I know I'm a lot to deal with. If you've seen the first episode with the crazy thoughts that I have about questions about eating dogs and stuff, you just off of that question alone, you should already understand that my brain is somewhere else half of the time. But yeah, that's what I hope people look forward to in the relationship, is to have somebody there that's gonna keep them going, keep them motivated, keep them encouraged, make them a better person, and someone that they can wake up to be happy next to. And that's what I shared with my friends. I said, you're right. And F anybody who doesn't want that to happen for you. F anybody who looks down on your relationship and says, oh, really? You know, there's people like that. Most of them are your family members, okay? Let me just put it out that way, okay? In that relationship, most of them are your family members. Now, the reason why I said they have to encourage you to be better, I've seen movies where the girlfriend or the boyfriend is just like, hey, come on, do this. Like in the what was it? I think it's Medea's Big Happy Family. When Lil Bow Wow's girlfriend was like, come on, just go make a run. Just go deal some drugs. That's not making him a better person. Even though he just got out of jail. He's trying to have visitation rights with his kids. He's trying to make things good with his baby mama. And this girl that he's with, because she looks good, is literally telling him to go back to selling drugs so that she can have money. That's not a person to be with. That's not a good relationship. Now, when it's a good relationship, most of the time it'll be your family that does not give a damn. And sad to say, that's the truth. Honestly, half of the family won't even care that you're married. Half of the family thinks you're making a big mistake anyway. And the reason why I say that is because that happened to me. You know, and my older brother and I, we're good now, but back in the day, we got into it. You know, my mom didn't really care for my wife. She kind of still doesn't care for my wife. And that's when I had to realize, like, it's not about what they care about. I remember telling my family that I had asked Kayla, my wife, to marry me. And she said yes. And I told my family, I said, I'm engaged. And I never asked them a question. I never said, what do you think? I said, oh, by the way, I'm engaged. And this was during Christmas. I think Christmas is just a random bad holiday for me. But I told them on Christmas, I said, hey, by the way, I'm engaged. Me and Kayla are planning to get married. No one said a thing. My mother said, why? Are you sure? Not, congratulations. Good for you. So he asked me, are you sure? Why? You didn't let us know. You didn't ask us first. And in my head, when I heard that, I was like, I don't need to ask you who I should love. I don't need your approval. Hell, I don't need your support either. I can do it on my own, which I had, which I did do. When I got married, no one came to my wedding. My younger brother that I invited, who was a neutral in this whole family feud, came late. My best friends were my best men. No one in the audience was related to me. None of my family members came, but the people who supported us did. My friends were there, church members were there, and the only person I cared about was my wife. And she chose to marry me, and she was there. And she came up looking beautiful. You know how when you take photos, the background is blurred? That's what was my vision when that happened. And when she said, I do, and she chose to marry me, and I agreed to it, that's all that mattered. Because at the end of the day, I don't wake up next to my mom. Good Lord, thank God I don't. I wake up next to my wife. And if my mom didn't support me, then that's fine. That's her loss. Because even to this day, it's hard. I don't talk to my mother a lot. I don't, maybe down the future, things will change. Maybe it'll get better. We'll have to wait and see. Let time play out. But not only did she lose me, my wife, and the opportunity to see her grandbabies, she lost memories that she could have had. She lost time. Time is something you can't pay back. You can pay $6 billion and still not get a minute back. Unless somebody finds a time machine or builds one, until then, that statement stands true. No amount of money can give you the time that you've lost. And in a sense, I am grateful. Because if I didn't follow what my wife was saying and say, F anybody else who doesn't care for our relationship, we don't need them. If I didn't listen to that and I just said, no, but I need my mom, I need my brothers, I need them, we would not be married. I guarantee you I would not be here in Utah. I guarantee I wouldn't be doing this podcast, because if it wasn't for my wife who suggested I start doing it, this would not be here where it is today. And on top of that, I would not be in a better place than I am now if I stayed home and lived with my mother and my brother, even for another month. That's the type of life I used to live in. So when my friend said that was so comforting to her, I understood where she was coming from. She did have family there that was at her wedding. She didn't have to go through what I went through, but everyone's path is different. And maybe along the lines, people didn't care for her from his side of the family. Who cares? As long as they wake up happy next to each other and they look at each other and they say, I love you, you love me, I'm so grateful to God to have you, then that's all that really matters. Nothing else really matters. Everyone can go to hell for all I care. And I mean that. If you're not on board with my relationship and you think that that I made a wrong move, sorry, I don't need to have you in my life anymore. Of course, my friends support me when my wife and I argue, and they catch my back and stuff. That's different. That's a different circumstance. But for the most part, it is what it is. So yeah, if you guys are getting into a relationship, and that's how I see it. This is my opinion now. I'm not a fact. I'm not a love guru. Nothing like that. But in my opinion, if those are those main things you can see in that person that you love, that's in your relationship, I say stay with them. Listen to that. Stay with them, and F anybody else who tries to ruin your relationship. anybody else who maybe a past ex-girlfriend or past ex-boyfriend that tries to slide and tries to come into your life now and sees that you're doing good, that's the thing. When you are in a relationship with someone who's making you a better person, all those people that you used to know see it as well. I went through it. My wife has changed me to be a better person. Hasn't changed my core, but has changed my thoughts, has changed my perspective on life, and a lot of different things she's changed me. Like I've always learned to be respectful, learned to love with intention, all that other stuff, but she's just added to that. She's lomied that, she's massaged that, she's put her own twist to what I've already had as a center for myself and made me a better person. And I can see that other people see it. People that we knew growing up in Hawaii, people that saw me like, hey, you're different, and that's the thing. That's what you got to watch out for too. Now that you've changed and you've gotten better, because that person that you sleep with, that person that you love, that person that loves you back is making you better. Now somebody else is going to come and try and ruin that. Maybe unintentionally, maybe with intentions. But stick to that person. That's the person that's going to hold on to you. That's the person that's going to make you better. And you got to live through that. You got to go through that, because if you overcome that temptation, and it's hard, sometimes it's hard. I don't know what personal relationships other people have, but sometimes it can be hard. That for a fact, I know when you get over that, you will change again. You will become better, and your significant other will love you even more because you chose them. You chose everything, not just how they look. Like, if your ex became a supermodel, but she was still the same way, he or she was still the same way that they were when you left them, for me personally, if one of my exes became a supermodel on the cover of magazines, looked gorgeous and all this stuff, I wouldn't. I'd be like, hey, have a nice day. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for saying hi. I'm going home. Because I know the beautiful woman that I married is the one that I will sacrifice anything for. She's the one that made me who I am today. And I have to remember that. Even if I lost weight and became some sort of model or whatever, some sort of like fit dude, and other girls are coming at me, the attention is nice. The attention is great. But I'm going home because I have a real woman back home who loves me, who has pushed me, who has encouraged me to be who I am today. Because I know if I lose that person, you'll lose this person. You'll lose me. If I lose my wife because I did something stupid, then I lose myself. Like literally when people say that's the better half, I truly mean that. She has made me better. And hopefully I'm her better half for the things that she needs to work on. But that's for her to deal with. That's for her to talk about somewhere else, or, if, among friends or whatever. But that's how I truly feel about the whole thing, is that's how I feel. That if I lost my wife because I did something stupid, I would change. I wouldn't be encouraged to keep going. My whole attitude would probably change because I wouldn't see her perspective. I wouldn't see her point of view. I would try and imagine it, but I know if she's not there to really give me her 100% pure thoughts, then I go out the window. Basically, everything changes. So, yeah. Sorry, I keep going off tangent. I keep going kind of far off with what I'm saying, but overall, love the one you're with. Don't give a damn about anybody else and what they think in your relationship, okay? You guys can do it. If you believe in each other, then it'll work out. It's fine. The people who will be there to support you, the true friends, blood don't make you family. Let me just tell you that. Blood don't make you family, okay? I have friends who I consider my brothers from another mother, same difference. I love them just like as if they were my own brothers because they got my back. They may not agree with our relationship. They may not agree with everything that goes on in my household, but they got my back and they support my wife and I. They support us and they care for us and they love us and they do all that they can to show that to us, and vice versa. We do the same for them. So like I said, blood don't make you family. Okay? You can have a different blood sample. You can have a different genetics. you can still be part of my family, and I appreciate that. It's about love, not just about blood. Okay. So yeah. Anyways, sorry about that. That was kind of long. I saw some great news today. I definitely wanted to talk about and share. One of the craziest things I saw was that there's an actual house in Illinois, Lincoln, Illinois, that's completely blacked out. Okay, so you know how those blacked out cars come. In a lot of the spy agency movies where they're like, it looks like what is it called? Black primer. This is what this house looks like, and it looks like a witch's house in the middle of the forest. If you were to see this place, I guess they got some viral track, and people were starting to look at it, and they wanted to sell it. And I guess the owner, whoever owned it, said that because the roof was so dark and black, they decided to paint everything. And actually inside, the interior walls in this place are black too. So when I saw it, I was like, that is scary, yo. I could never live in a black house like that. Not only that, could you imagine how hot it gets? Black just holds on to the heat. You know what I mean? Like black will just keep heat in, and it'll just make that whole house a furnace, basically. But when I saw this, all I thought about was all the horror movies. Hocus Pocus came up, which is actually a great movie that my wife and I love watching every Halloween. Hocus Pocus came up. Hell, Harry Potter came up. I thought that's where the Dementors lived, is in that house. It came up in my head. What else? The Grudge. Mike Myers, Freddy Krueger, all the horror films came up. They could do 1,000+ movies of horror films in this house. That's how dark this house is. It's known as the Goth Pitch Black House. And I was like, man, that's scary. Could you imagine? Well, for me, if somebody asked me what color would I make, what one color would I make my house, I would have to say blue. Blue's very neutral. Blue's, not too bright, not too dark, whatever. But it's kind of a simple color that doesn't distract people, doesn't push people away, but doesn't keep people close either. So it's kind of like right in the middle. That's what I would do. If I had a house, because I don't, I'm renting right now. Speaking of houses, there's a great place here in Utah. Shoot, I think it's in South Jordan. I'm not 100% sure where. But there's what we call the Up House. Excuse me, got to get some water. So the Up House. The Up House is an actual house that looks just like the Up House over in the movie Up. The Disney movie Up. So if you have Disney Plus or whatever, if you've ever seen this movie, the house that Mr. Fredrickson lives in, these people replicated that and made their own home into the Up House. We've gone there a couple times. We actually went there not too long ago with our good family friends, the Okonishis. We went there with them and we had a blast. We got to, and they're so nice. The family that owns the place, I don't know what their names are, but if you're ever in Utah and you're in the Salt Lake County or Utah County, go and check this place up. It's online. Look up Utah County Up House. It'll send you the address, and they actually sell cookies there. Some Mickey Mouse designed cookies, Minnie Mouse designed cookies, and they're beautiful. The house is just like that, different colors all over the place, and and it's really amazing. It's really beautiful. I can't remember what we thought the house next to it should have been. Shoot. But there's another house right next door to it that looks almost like, it's got that old feel to it. So almost like the Mary Poppins house where the Banks family used to live. That could have been it. Or it could have been, not the Up House. Oh, that's the one. We thought it would have been a great Groot house. You know how Groot from Despicable Me, he has that, that black, real tall. That's what the pitch black house looks like. Groot's house. That's what they should turn it into. Oh my goodness, that'd be great. Imagine that. Imagine if they had that up, if they could just change it a little bit, change the yard scenery around. That would be so cool. They could have like purple minions walking around, yellow minions walking around, and it would be the Groot house. Oh my goodness. Because it already is pretty much pitch black. They just have to kill the grass or whatever, because that's how Groot's is. You have to, put the fence up. You could have a statue of Groot chilling outside. This house would be amazing. And then you could just let people would love to come and check it out. It looks kind of scary now because it looks like a freaking ghost and witches live there. Like I said, the Hocus Pocus and the Grudge, they live there. But if you put Groot out there, it's more welcoming. Yo, you guys in Illinois, if you guys still have this house on sale by the time you're listening to this podcast, take this idea. Put a statue of Groot outside. Put some minions out there. Put the 3 girls. Draw those characters out. Put a poster of them outside. That house would be amazing. Hell, you could even change it into the Groot house and have it as an attraction for Illinois, for Lincoln, Illinois. You don't have to sell the house. You could probably make that into a great attraction. People would love to come, pay money to see it. I would. That'd be awesome to go in there and see all the different features that the house has. That'd be amazing. Dang, I'm good. I got some good ideas, man. This is what I love about blah, 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 blah. Just messed up my words. What I love about podcasting, man, is just things start flowing, things starts going in my mind. Oh man, that would be amazing. That would be cool. And then you could have I think Kevin is the dog, the little ugly looking dog. That thing would be amazing. Holy smokes. And then to have minions there, man, kids would love it for sure. That is yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Heck yeah, if it was turned into the Groot house, it would be super good. So yeah, if you want to look up what this house looks like, just type in Google all black goth home Illinois. All black goth home Illinois. You'll find it. Yeah, I think it would be pretty cool if they turned it. It doesn't really look like the structure of the Groot house, but if they were able to change it up just a little bit, they would make it huge. It would be cool. Let me just put it that way. It would just be cool to look at. All right. So you guys know I like to look up odd news. I like to look up funny news, just like that pitch black house. But here's one I wanted to share with you guys. I thought this was really cool. So this guy in Virginia, let's see if it says his name. Yes, by the name of Dennis Wallaby, became the winner of $1 million lottery. He didn't become a millionaire because he had to pay taxes, and the taxes only gave him about $640,205, which I want to talk about later. But he said that he was going out because his kids wanted chocolate milk, so they were bugging him, and he's like, okay, I'm going to go head out. And he went to the nearest 7-Eleven. He's like, might as well grab a scratch or two for the $1 million lottery. Ends up winning. Okay, imagine that. Imagine you're going in to buy a $2 bottle of chocolate milk, and you end up winning the $1 million lottery. First of all, if I had $1 million, I'd buy a better camera. I'd buy a studio. I'd buy me a house, like I said, with an extra room for those nights when we get into it. But actually with a couple extra rooms. One to house my wife's studio so that she can do her photography, her videography, whatever. I definitely want a playroom for my kids. Padded up walls and whatever. Have a good playroom for them. I want that. And then, of course, a fitness room, and then a room for myself where I can do my own music recording, because that's what I want to put out in this year, 2022. And do my podcast, do whatever, have interviews, have a space. Each of us have our own workspace, and each of us have our own room. Of course, my wife and I will have a big master bedroom. That's what I want, with a fat tub that I can sit in. I'm talking fat, PHATTTTTT. That's how big I want this tub to be. Okay, so I want to be able to sit in there. Like I said, I'm 6 feet tall, 300 pounds. Don't fit very well inside of a standard size tub. So I'm talking big tub. We went to the hospital. My wife. Okay. The tub that I want is one that I can submerge myself in, and there's one that I've been to when my wife was giving birth to my last 2 children, my child number 2 and my child number 3. First of all, the hospital that we went to had a gigantic delivery room. Okay, each mother has their own room, and this room is basically bigger than most. It's got like 12-foot ceilings, 14-foot ceilings, and it's huge. Like you can pretty much park 2 SUVs in there. It's how big this thing is. Bigger than most apartments. But the bathtub was what I was enjoying. Okay. So my wife, of course, she's in labor. She's pregnant. And I come from work and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go shower. Let me go in the bathtub. And I sit in this bathtub and I can fill it up. It's a walk-in bathtub. I don't know what it's called, but you walk in, you close the door, and there's like a little place you can sit down, let the water fill up. And I fill it all the way up to about, quarter way. And I soak myself in that bad boy. That is the tub I want. So if I had $1 million and I was able to buy my own place, I would have 5 to 10 acres if I could. My own house with all those rooms and my badass bathtub. That's exactly what I want. That's what I would love to have if I had that type of money. And I would purchase that bathtub and I would bathe and soak myself in that thing every day. Didn't need to have jets. Maybe just, that tub would have a heater controller. So it'd stay warm. So like you wouldn't waste the water heating it. It would just heat up the whole tub. That would be awesome. So I could just sit there. The water would be full. It'd be nice and hot. And if it starts cooling down, I turn the heater on and the tub heats up as if there was like a flame on the bottom or like a bunch of hot coils wrapped around the tub to keep the tub warm. Genius. Like I said, podcasting helps me think through things. So that would be amazing. Having a room, that's basically what I would want. And of course, an exercise room, that as well. And maybe like 1 or 2 guest rooms too. So if I had that much money, that'd be great. And I can only imagine what that dad must have felt like. I would be jumping for joy. If I spent $2 and got $1 million back, that would be crazy. My kids, I'd be like, all right, let's go. Pack this shit in. Sorry, I'm trying not to swear, but pack this crap in. Let's go. We're heading out. We're going to go buy us a new house right now. Let's get this, pack it in, and let's go. Of course, in the article, it said that he only got $640,205. And that's because, I guess, for the next 30 years or so, they were going to give him, installments of this $1 million, whatever, after taxes. So he's like, no, just pay me out right now. Let's get this over with. And for me, I'm like, man, you couldn't let this guy be a millionaire. Like literally, you couldn't let him just win a full $1 million and just swipe the taxes, or in fact, make the lottery $1 million plus so that the taxes get taken out and he still becomes a millionaire. That would be good. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be like, oh, I want $1 million scratch off, and they're like, really, you're a millionaire? Oh no, I'm only 100,000 there. I'm 100,000 there. Yeah, I made 640,000 off of that ticket. So you're not a millionaire. No. I'd rather stunt on people and be like, yo, I'm a millionaire. I won a lottery ticket. I won $1 million. I'm a millionaire. But he can't. He can't put that in his bank. And what I don't understand is, out of all the scratches that this town probably had to pay for, they didn't spend $1 million on scratchers. Okay? Let me just put it that way. Because I know there's got to be more people in that town that pay to buy scratch-offs that it surpasses $1 million. Why not just pay off the taxes and let the guy keep the $1 million? It's greed. It's greed. That's what it is. It's what it is. It's greed. People don't want to give up the money. I get it. I understand it. But in my opinion, just give the guy the money. Just give it to him. You're rich already. Whoever came up with this is rich regardless. Give the guy the money. He'll be fine. It won't even dent you. Let's put it that way. It won't even leave a dent in your pocket. Give him the $1 million. Let him go and splurge that on his kids. He literally said that. He said he came to get milk for his kids. You don't think he's going to spend the $1 million on his kids? Well, I hope he does. I really hope he does spend it on his own kids. But yeah, let him go. Let him go do that. Oh, man. I would be frustrated if that happened to me, to be honest. I'd be like, okay, so where's my other $360 worth of, near $360, $360,000 that I'm missing. He paid $360,000 in taxes. This guy shouldn't pay taxes for the next couple of years, according to his job that he has. He shouldn't have to pay taxes on this thing. His taxes probably paid for the lottery ticket. I really don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but that's just my opinion. He deserves to have the full $1 million instead of this $640,000 bull crap that I think is going on. It's unfair, but it is what it is. All right. So now I got some ideas from my thought bucket here. So I pulled some out. And this is basically where I kind of share my personal opinions. Because I have random thoughts that happen every once in a while. And so when they do happen, I kind of want to put them into this little bucket here and then share them on my podcast. So let's get to it. All right. We'll grab a couple. Let's see what happens. All right. Here we go. All right. So here's the first one. All right. Oh, geez. I thought that was two. Okay. Give me a second. All right. Here we go. Oh, snap. Dropping one rubbish. Oh. All right. So this is luck of the draw. Okay. You saw me draw it out of the bucket. Here is my question. Which is better, being single or being married? Okay. Whoops. Okay. So first off, half of the time that I come up with these thoughts and ideas, I can't remember where they come from. I only write the thought and idea. I don't write the situation or the memory down. So I am kind of lost at times. But for me, being married is very, very worth it. Because being single is great. Okay, let me put in a single, okay? Being single is great because, one, you're by yourself. You have no one to answer to. You have no one to hold you accountable. Two, you basically do whatever you want to do. You know, hopefully it's lawful and you're not doing anything illegal, but you basically get to do whatever you want to do. You get to pay for if you have a good job and you can find time to fly wherever you want to fly, go on trips by yourself, pay for your half of the meal, go do the things that you want to do without restriction, being single. Okay. You can go to parties, you can go to get-togethers, you can, all by yourself. You can literally be independent. You can go in. You don't have to worry about, I got to check in. I got to make sure I have time to spend with so-and-so, with my other half, whatever it may be, right? Single life. You only have to worry about yourself. You have nobody to check into. You just basically do your job, do your extracurriculars, do your lawful/unlawful things that you're going to do. You can go and basically do your life and come home. That's all you. That's the single life. And it may be great because you have no kids, you have no responsibilities, you have nobody to check in with, you have nobody to hold you accountable, you have nobody to argue with. And that's fine. That's great. And maybe you get some self-motivation, you become better, you advance yourself in your own career. And that's awesome. All that is awesome. That's your perspective. That's good. And if you guys want to comment too, let me know. Like, which one do you prefer, single or married? All right. And now let me answer the married part. I love being married. I love my wife. I love my wife. I love my wife. I'm not here to preach that all day, but I will let you know pretty much every episode how much I love my wife. Because I do. As messed up as I am and as messed up as she can be, I love her. Okay? Being married, it goes back to what I said before about not giving a damn what anybody thinks. It goes back to, if I wasn't married to my wife, I wouldn't see things that she was trying to show me. If I didn't marry my wife, I would still be at home in Hawaii, I believe, arguing with my family, arguing with my mother to let me go and live my life, probably breaking up that relationship even worse, moving somewhere else, not having my children, But I think being married comes with its own trials, comes with its own battles, but also comes with its own rewards, its own victories, its own championships. The hardest thing about being married is you're married to your best friend and your worst enemy, because that person knows you inside and out. He knows your tics. She knows my buttons. I know her buttons. She knows what I like. I know what she likes. She knows what I hate, and I know what she hates. And that's what I mean by best friend, worst enemy. Because we know each other. But overall, good and bad, I take it all I encompass the whole thing. I would not be the person I am today. Not just health-wise, that's all me. But mentally, spiritually, emotionally, I would not be where I am if it wasn't for my wife, if I wasn't married. Because, to be honest, I was used to coming home alone and then wonder, what the hell am I going to do now? What am I going to do? And if I was still single, that's exactly what would be happening. I'd be coming home to my bedroom, being like, oh, what the hell am I going to do now? What's going on in my life? I'll just watch YouTube all day. I'll just watch a movie. I'll just be bored. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And that's the type of life I would have lived. But since I've been in the relationship with my wife, she's had me, hey, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. Like, then go do something. She's the one that started me performing music. She's the one that put my name into a bowl, basically, and the guy drew my name out and asked me to come and perform, and I've been performing ever since. Hopefully this will continue for many more years. So I'm thankful for that. I love that part of being married. And the same thing for my wife. She's asked me, oh, should I do this with my photography? I would tell her, honest, yeah, go do this, don't do that, take your photography, go here, make sure you have this and that. And so the reason why I say I love marriage is because there is a camaraderie, a respect, and a push right now for my wife and I to push each other together and to push each other forward. And being married, to me, has more than just physical qualities, has more than just emotional qualities. It has spiritual qualities to it. Like, I honestly do believe that I will not make it into heaven without my wife. And heaven would not be the same if she wasn't there. If my wife didn't make it to heaven and I did, I would ask God to let me go and be with her. Or let her be with me. One or the other. And on top of that, my children. I would not have my kids if I was not married to this beautiful woman. And heaven again would not be heaven if I didn't have my 3 little girls with me. If they didn't make it and somehow, by some stupid miracle, I made it, I would ask God to let me be with my kids. Take my glory, take whatever you give me, and let me be with my children. Because if you think I'm going to be up here because you're God, and I'm going to miss the people that I love the most, I love you, God. I love all that you are. I love all that you have done for me. I respect that. But you also blessed me with the person who made me get to this place. You know what I'm saying? My wife helped me get to heaven. And now she can't get in. I'm out. It's like if I go to a fancy restaurant because I earned it somehow. And they say, oh, you can come in here, but your family has to stay outside because they're not part of the VIP club. They're not part of this. I would say, okay, well, then neither am I. I'll go take my wife and my kids to McDonald's, and we'll have the best time there because we don't have to be fake, because I don't have to act like I'm in heaven when I'm not. And that's exactly how I feel. So for me, single life, it was fun. Married life, even better. Trust me when I say that. If you wake up, like I said, and the thing about being your best friend and your worst enemy is because your best friend is somebody you compete with, and your worst enemy is the one who shows you your flaws, shows you your mistakes, and only makes you better. Because even if you did it in a prideful way and you said, you know what, you see my mistakes? I'm going to be better than that. Next time you can't say that about me. And did she make you better? Did he make you better? Yes. Because your flaws or your mistakes that you made were changed. Because you didn't want to hear it again. You didn't want to have to falter and say, you know what, you got me again. I still keep messing up. But I still mess up too. I mess up all the time. And my wife still gives me chances after chances after chances, and I do the same for her. We are not perfect, but I love being married to this woman. I love it. Even tonight, she's experiencing, a memory she's having with our girls, going to see lights and whatnot. And I love that. And I love that she calls me. I love to hear her voice. I love when she sends me pictures of our girls. I just love, I just love every moment about it. And what I like is that we are literally a team. Like, if you ever played a team sport, at the end of the day, you go home and you go back to your family, or you go home and you go to your single life. My team never quits. My team never ends. My team is by my side all the time. Even when we're not close. Even when we're not in the same facility. Even if we're not in the same zip code. My team, we're tight. We're close still. That's my teammate. That's my captain. I'm her captain. She's my Captain Marvel. I'm her Captain Marvel. She's Marvel. I'm DC. We'll just make it like that, okay? So I love being married. And so you guys let me know, single or married, which one do you prefer, all right? If you're single, let me know what you love about single life. Let me know what you hate. If you're married, let me know about what you love about being married. Let me know what you hate as well. Okay. Next question. Okay. Next thought. Let's see what it says here. Opening up this one. What anime did you grow up watching? Do you still watch anime? I think I was on an anime cringe when I binge when I did this. Growing up, anime that I watched was Dragon Ball Z. A lot of that. What was the other one? Dragon Ball Z. I watched Bleach for a little while. Couldn't get into it. Naruto I watched for a little while. Couldn't get into it. What else was there? Samurai Pizza Cats. I remember watching that. I don't know if that's considered anime, but watch that. Sailor Moon. Watch that. What else was anime? Oh, there used to be this. Oh, I don't know if it's anime, but there used to be this alien fight cartoon that I used to watch too. Shoot, I forgot what it's called. But I don't know if it's anime too. Basically, this alien was on Earth, and they were human beings, and then when they wanted to fight, they would transform into these alien things and shed their skin like a snake, and then fight. At least that's what I can remember. I can't remember what the name of the movie was or what the show was called. Samurai Pizza Cats was one of them. What else was there? I think it was called Samurai Champloo or Afro Samurai. Watched those. I'm into what I just recently finished Netflix's 7 Deadly Sins. I watched that. Love that. Escanor is the man. I know if you didn't watch it. So sad. So sorry. But he ends up dying. Don't know when. I'm not going to tell you. He just ends up. That's just what happens. But he is the man. I love Escanor. He's quotable, man. He's just a quotable character. There's Bond and there's everything else, but Escanor was the one. He said, what did he say? Oh, who decided that? You said your darkness could shut out my sun. Who decided that? Boom! I shall decide. And he was dope. I love that character. The other anime, I don't know if it's anime or not, but the Avatar series. That's the Last Airbender, and of course, Legend of Korra. My daughter's into it now, which I love a lot. I am so happy that she's into it because, one, it gets under my wife's skin, but two, I can see the imagination growing in her. Plus, she takes martial arts, so of course she's going to love it. I consider myself, I would like to be an earthbender. I'm a very earthy kind of guy. Maybe because I have heavy feet, but I'm an earthy kind of dude. It would be cool because then I could like lift the earth. I could make my own house, design it the way I wanted to, kind of. And I could, in the cartoon, it comes out very rough. The walls come out very rough. But if I took the time and I flattened things out, made it real beautiful, and I could do marble counters, I could do granite, I could do all different types of earth bending. Hell yeah. I'd make everything super nice. Plumbing would be easy. I could make a trough. I could make a moat. I could make a bunch of things if I was an earthbender. I wouldn't just limit myself to, lifting stones and making, and pushing buildings and stuff. I would legit be a contractor. I'd be like, oh, you want a building? Boom! Here's a building. There you go. Done. I think my daughter is a water bender. She likes the flow of things. I think my other daughter is a fire bender for sure. And the last one might be, my third daughter might actually be an earthbender just like me. I wish there was a test. If there's a test out there that you can determine what your characteristics are as a human being and turn that into what type of bender you might become, please let me know. I'd love to take a look at that. But yeah, that's what I would do. That's the anime I watch right now. Let's see if there's any other new ones I've been keeping an eye on. I have to get into Superhero Academia, I think is what it's called. That's one my niece watches, and she's really into it. So I got to take a chance to look at it and see how that... Oh, Baki! I watch Baki. Baki's my boy. Yo, Baki is ripped. If I could get ripped like that, I would be... Oh! His dad, the Beast, is amazing. That's a whole nother thing to talk about, but I love that show. I know it's bad. I know it's swearing. I know it's a bunch of martial arts things. And some of that stuff is ridiculous. Like the guy that holds his hands in his pockets and just, can still fight or whatever. That guy's ridiculous. Oliver, Mr. Oliver is ridiculous. That guy is gigantic. Baki's father, Hanma, I forgot what his first name is. Hanma is ridiculous. Baki alone is ridiculous. He is the man. And for him to be the youngest athletic martial artist, whatever, badass dude on the planet, give it up to that guy. That guy is legit. And then when they become Kaio, all this other stuff is super cool. I love Baki. So yeah, I've been watching that. Yeah, that's my anime things for now. But anyways, thank you all again. I guess I got to end it right now, but thank you all again for listening to this second episode 2 of the A Hawaiian podcast. God bless each and every one of you. Hope you guys are out there being safe. Take care. God bless. And comment below. Okay. And also let me know if I can share it or not share it. But yeah, I'll be respectful. Okay. Please, no negative comments. Just give me what you guys think. If, yeah. Well, what anime do you guys watch? And what anime did you guys grow up watching? And do you like single life or married life? Let me know. And let me know what you guys think. And if you're from Illinois, I hope you guys are listening to this too, so that you guys can take that idea to make that pitch black house into the Groot house. And if you want to share an experience where you had to kick your family to the curb, just like how I did in order to live your life and live your relationship, you can share that too. But anyways, hope you guys are doing good. Have a great day. Be safe out there. Be blessed. Make somebody's day a better day. Love on everyone. Take care. God bless. And aloha. All right.